man. I do what I do.
See, the thing is, the vast majority of these white folks that are here right now spitting all this rhetoric, from that little boy with the little Spanish sounding last name, I think he's Italian. The vast majority, I forget his name. What's the little racist, little short, little pipsqueak Italian dude with the Spanish last name? What's his name? I forget his name. But the vast majority of these so-called white Americans, the Italians, the Irish, the Polish, the Eastern European, they just got here. Their ancestors stepped off the boat at Ellis Island barely a century ago in the early 1900s. Meanwhile, I was already been here plowing field. Nick Fuentes, that's the little fella's name. Up there trying to get likes and giggles. We were part of the Union Army. We built the railroads. We built the towns from scratch. Their ancestors couldn't even speak English, and we were already here working. They had them huddled in ghettos. They were out here trying to escape. The white folks was out here trying to escape famine and fascism, while ours were already here on American soil, managing, building families and businesses and communities under unsurmountable pressure. Here's the kicker. When those groups arrived, they weren't even considered white. Italian, they spit on the Italian. They called them swarty, which means dark. They treated the Irish, they literally called the Irish monkeys and subhuman. And the Eastern Europeans, they suspected them of being, they were just suspect. They were uneducated, they were foreign. They were racially discriminated against too. Until one day, white America just let them in, okay? They got their honorary white card, and the first thing they did was try to look down on us. The very people who struggled made room for theirs. We literally adopted the Irish. We embraced the Italians. We let them in. Look at the history of the blacks and the Italians when they first got here. So the next time some of you newly minted Americans tell us to go back to Africa, remind them folk that our ancestors didn't just stumble off the boat a generation ago. We didn't just cross the ocean. We were dragged across it. And some of us been here. Shh. We've always fought. And we still will. You try to deport black Americans if you want. Let the first brother or sister shout out to Kenneth Marlowe. Let the first brother or sister find out y'all trying to get us up out of here. We're not playing these games. And this country knows exactly who we are and what we will do if pushed to the edge. We're not new to this. We didn't just resist with marches and speeches. We've taken arms, burned cities, seized weapons, and fought battles on our own soil against our presence. Here's just a few examples. You guys, 1811, German Coast Uprising down in Louisiana, the biggest slave revolt in U.S. history. You had 500 black men who took up weapons and organized a march toward New Orleans. The goal was the complete overthrow of the slave system. This is 1811. White folk was terrified. Can you imagine if that had caught on? They sent the militia down there to suppress it. But this was only after dozens of white folk and slave owners had been unalived on these sugar plantations, burned them to the ground. That's 1811. Shout out to David John. They know us. They don't teach that. They don't want you to know that's what you all was really doing. Even way back in 1739, something called the Stono Rebellion. More than 20 black men, led by an Angolan warrior named Jimmy, raided the store, armed themselves, and marched while chanting liberty. This is what, look, man. They unalived the slave holders and recruited other black men, and they rose up. The colonial government, the British colonial government had to impose the Negro Act of 1740 to suppress any further uprisings. Then if we go to 1741, this is 1741. was even a country, New York City, 100 black people, okay, were accused of conspiring to burn the city down and unalive all the rich white folks. It was some white people involved in that. They end up hanging 17 black men who they, to try to set an example, they burned them alive. 13 were burned alive. 30. Whether or not the conspiracy was real or not, the reaction is a testament to how fearful these folks were of black uprising. We don't need to talk about Nat Turner, 1831. This man got together with his followers, black preacher, Nat Turner, and unalived 60 white folk in a few days. These are people with no education, no transportation, no communication, and no real weapons. Because God told them to do it. That brought about a lot more harsher black codes, but it was also a declaration. We will never be docile. You don't think they know this? You don't think they teach this in these military academies? And if we want to talk about the black Seminoles, black folks that escaped from Georgia and South Carolina and ran down into Florida and hid out with the swamps in the Seminole Nation, they fought black 3 full-blown wars against the U.S. government. I mean, they fought the whole might of the U.S. military. These weren't protests. These were guerrilla warfare campaigns. You never hear about this. They never, ever, ever want to tell black folks our real history and what we did. These weren't protests. This was hand-to-hand. These were, look, the U.S. sent thousands of military men. They sent thousands into these swamps, in these forests to try to put down these black freedom fighters. And they kept getting their butts kicked. They kept on getting their butts kicked. They were so afraid to give black men arms. The Union Army said, man, we don't want to get these dudes. We just finished fighting these dudes. We don't want to give them weapons.
My name is Dennis Spurling. I'm an attorney here in Houston, Texas. My mandate is to be an advocate for black men.
Dennis Spurling got the mic on fire.
I'm a black father, I have black sons.
Tune in, weekly feeling inspired. From the heart, real talking night. Every episode brings to light. Subscribe, hit the like,
my voice, my wisdom.
share the love, you know it's fair. Join us every
Cold outside, listen King coming.
Drop some coins in the collection plate.
Alright, let me roll out.
Comment below, let's start the chat. Insight so deep like we sat. Together vibing, no need to wait. Dennis Spurling always first.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to the
Subscribe,
broadcast.
hit the like, won't you dare. Share the love, you know it's fair. Join us every week, don't be late. Drop some coins in the collection plate.
Yeah, they peso trick. Some of y'all can't help it. Some of y'all can't help tricking. Some of y'all got a soft spot for her.
You enjoy the ride, come say hi. Catch the wave, don't pass by. Lifted spirits, always in sight. In this podcast, joy takes flight. Subscribe, hit the like, won't you dare. Share the love, you know it's fair. Join us every week, don't be late. Drop some coins in the collection plate. Drop some coins in the collection plate.
Like, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. I'm about to show you something.
say hi. Catch the wave, don't pass by. Lifted spirits always in sight. In this podcast, joy takes flight. Subscribe, hit the like, won't you dare. Share the love, you know it's fair. Join us every week, don't be late. Drop some coins in the collection plate. Drop some coins.
Donation. I thought it was a trap.
Hey man, I do what I do.
You know that.
Your ass, class, don't come over here. You tall black mother. Women up inside. I don't give a fuck about